The figures I just used there, Victoria, as soon as next month, the population of Victoria will hit 7 million people, which I found hard to believe. An intake of students and migrants of 186,000 in the 12 months to December last year. I mean, Brad, rents, home prices, healthcare. We haven't built houses for these people, have we? We're not prepared for that.
No, we haven't, Steve. And the government's promised 80,000 homes to be built.
How many they built?
Well, they're on track to fall well short of that. You've got government ministers saying that it may not happen. I mean, I'm not about a big Australia, I'm not about a small Australia or a big Victoria, little Victoria. I'm about a sustainable Victoria.
We need a debate about
Australia.
it. Everyone's scared to talk about it.
We do, and it's got to go hand in hand with our ability to school people, so to educate people, our infrastructure, our health infrastructure, our housing infrastructure, which is already, as you've identified, under a lot of pressure. The
Victorian Labor government, they'll argue, well, you know, you can't criticise us on the one hand for big infrastructure projects and then say, well, you know, we've got all these people that we can't house and we can't move around.
But no one's criticising them on the basis of big infrastructure projects. It's the way they're managing or mismanaging infrastructure projects that the real issue is. I mean, you know, this is a government who has wasted quite literally more than $40 billion of Victorian taxpayers' money that they clearly do not respect on cost blowouts on major projects in the last 10 years. That's our point of difference. That's our point of criticism. And fair dinkum, I think that's fair.
Quality of life, I mean, Victoria has room to spread out. Anyone who drives up the Hume Highway towards Sydney will see housing estate after housing estate after housing estate, both sides of the highway, with nothing in there. No schools, no shopping centres, no public transport.
Victoria needs to be not just a city-state, but a state of cities, Steve. And to do that, it's up to the state government to deliver the infrastructure in those growth areas of Melbourne. Now, you know, I represent a community where the government's suburban rail loop starts. No one in my community has ever asked for a train to Box Hill, can I tell you? But what communities right around the state are crying out for is for their state government to pay attention to the infrastructure needs that we need to build in growth areas to house people and to look after people.
When I told you that the population will tick over to 7 million, did that surprise you?
Absolutely it did.
Surprised me today.
If I'm wearing my Shadow Treasurer hat at the moment...
This is Mark McCrindle, the demographer, so it's not me making that number up.
I'm thinking about the services that need to be provided to those people with the parlous state of the Victorian economy that Labor's left us after 10 years.